with all of that said, and some of you are still here, and that's good, because now we are going to start focusing on shifting to achieve extraordinary and a lot more focus towards achieving our purpose. So we understand that everything we do is interconnected. So our focus impacts our productivity, which impacts whether we achieve our goals. Our capability of focusing is influenced by having a clear purpose. So the first step in achieving a shift is to stop and take stock. Now, this is a very easy acronym to remember: SHIFT. First, stop and take stock. Decades ago, when I used to work in retail and manufacturing, and yes, I'm not 21 anymore, I know it looks like it, but trust me, I'm not. One of my first jobs was in retail and manufacturing, and we conducted regular stock takes, and it was part of a monthly and an annual process. Now, the process of conducting inventory was equally as qualitative as it was quantitative. Speed was much further down the line than accuracy initially in the stock taking process. Yet, as the process wore on, time became more important. After all, we had to open for business the next day again. So any variance that's deemed acceptable was left as such and was either counted as a gain or a loss, and impacted the performance of the business in many different ways, mostly in a negative way. We can apply this analogy to our lives and our business as well when it comes to achieving what we set out to achieve. It is important that you take stock regularly of your own work and your life as well. Taking stock of what you have is one of the best ways, not just to have awareness of what's on hand, but what's missing as well. Examples of the inventory you would like to take stock of includes the following. Again, my favorite question. I'm not going to repeat this. Hopefully you'll remember that question by the time we're done here. The next question you would like to take inventory of: do I have an MTP? Then, do I have SMART goals that supports my MTP? Is my plan to achieve my goals and MTP effective? How do I rate different types of focus? What is my productivity levels? We did the exercise earlier. You know what the different productivity levels are. What am I doing well? And what do I need to do better? You can come up with your own ideas of different questions you would like to ask yourself to stop and take stock on how you are progressing and how you are maintaining ruthless focus. I was a bit slow there on the going from one bullet point to the next. The next step we would like to take is harness. So that's the H in shift. And here, the second step is to harness the one thing that we have been given control over. I'm happy to have a detailed conversation with anybody about this, and I'll invite Lloyd as well to that conversation about what I'm going to say now. It's a big topic, this. We have been given control over our mindset, and we can develop a success-focused mindset if we choose to. The Buddha said, the mind is everything. What you think about, you become. It's no question that mindset plays a crucial role in our day-to-day lives. Our mindsets control how we think, the actions that we take, the presumptions that we conclude within the walls of our mind. It is the essential spark to any of the success or failure that we endure. Yet, despite being arguably one of the most important factors in our lives, many of us struggle to master our mindset or even make a valid attempt to try and do so. There's a lot of new science available on this topic, on how you can reprogram your mind, etc. And neuroplasticity plays a role and so forth. But we can't go into all of that now. So we allow others to define our lives for us because we don't take control of our mindset, to allow our failures to stop us, and also to not conform to beliefs of the world around us. We have all been influenced and conditioned in one way or another. The best thing that you can do is to change your mindset. And we can do this at any point in time if we commit to it and if we make that decision. That doesn't mean that it's going to be easy though. But once you start to make an effort to master your mindset, life, as you know, it will get easier and become a lot more enjoyable. I want to share with you 5 of the most powerful mindsets successful people share. I'm going to ask you to play up to the ones you have and work on the ones that you don't. So just quickly, if we go through this, the first mindset of successful people is that they start and finish. You have all you need to achieve your goals. You're driven, you're geared up, and you don't mind doing the work to get them. You're looking forward to it. So when exciting projects and collaborations enter your radar, you say yes to all of them. You think being successful is about having lots of amazing projects going on at the same time. I hate to be the one to tell you this. You're wrong. Truly successful people are very careful about choosing what projects to work on. Their main focus is to follow through and finish what they start. No matter how good the project, no matter how great the idea, you won't see results or massive forward movement in your life and business if you never finish what you start. Remember, going all out for 1 or 2 good projects beats going halfway on 100 great projects. And that's very, very true. Successful people go for growth. In her book, Mindset, Changing the Way You Think to Fulfill Your Potential, Stanford University psychologist Dr. Carol Dweck explains that successful people focus on growth. They don't focus on failure. They don't focus on what they're doing wrong. They don't focus on the resources they don't have available. Their focus is on growth. Even when they experience setbacks. A growth mindset arises from the belief that achieving success is about continuous, consistent improvement. If you focus on growth, you see success as a journey rather than a destination. This means you're always open to learn and improve until you achieve your goals. Then, a very interesting one here. Successful people adopt an abundance mindset. Now, this is a very big topic on its own, and we need to, Craig, do a masterclass on adopting an abundance mindset at some point in time. But very quickly, it refers to a paradigm that there is plenty out there for everybody. Another way of looking at this phenomenon is in terms of a scarcity mentality versus an abundance mindset. Stephen Covey, I don't know who hasn't read his book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People yet. He coined these terms for the first time. Then mindset number 4. And this is something some of us struggle with. And I know this is something I struggled with for a very long time. We develop a positive inner belief. Check your negative beliefs at the door about yourself, about your situation, about what's happening around you in the world. Your beliefs influences your utter behaviors and actions, meaning you need to believe you can succeed before you actually do. Don't start with having failure in mind before you start. Start with having success in mind and believe that you've already achieved that goal even before you start. You'll be amazed how your world opens up. Mindset number 5, accept yourself. Successful people understand who they are. They know their goals and dreams inside out. They know their values, their skills, and their abilities. They are also incredibly clear about their weaknesses. They don't try to be amazing everything, and they don't try to be someone that they are not. So a couple of weeks ago, we had an amazing masterclass with Lloyd, who is a practicing psychologist and also a coach. And he spoke to us about the importance of having self-awareness to help us refocus, redefine and re-energize our paths to success. So Lloyd is here. He's a very active member of our community. So you are more than welcome. And I checked with him. I'm not throwing Lloyd under the bus here. You're more than welcome to contact him for a free introductory chat for 20 minutes and ask him any questions that will help you redefine your potential. Craig, if you wouldn't mind just sharing that link in the chat for everybody as well. And
just done that.
Thank you. And Lloyd, thank you very much for, again, making yourself available to help the community. High achievers, remember this, high achievers never forget that their mindset is what helps them achieve ongoing and continuous success. When you make an effort to shift your mindset, all your other incredible personality traits and skills will come together to propel you forward. The added benefit now, though, is you have a lot more fun getting there if you adopt the mindset that successful people has. So then the third point in shift, I know I'm throwing a lot at you, but it's important that we get through this. The third step in achieving shift is to identify. Do you know exactly what you want? And we've touched on this when we touched on purpose, etc. The more clarity you have, the more likely you are to reach the desired outcomes in your life. In fact, I contend again, and I need to remind you that one of the main reasons we plan poorly, define goals poorly, is that we don't have this clarity. Most people only have vague goals, and at best, vague goals promote vague results. To know what you should focus on every day and plan for success, you must establish that clear purpose, that clear MTP for both your life and your purpose. So I'm going to give a little bit more information about what this MTP is, because we now see why having an inspiring purpose is so important to develop ruthless focus. When you focus on your MTP every day, you are far less likely to jump from one thing to the next. Having a clear MTP forms your foundation, and it allows you to craft smart goals and an effective plan, which you can break down into smaller little tasks. As you complete these tasks, you can be confident that you are heading in the right direction. The bottom line is that it's difficult to improve your focus unless you know where you're going. Sure, you can have an incredible ability again to concentrate, an incredible ability to transition from one task to the next. But if we do not have an inspiring long-term focus, the purpose, the MTP, we're not going to achieve what we would like to achieve. So I mentioned earlier that Craig and myself is having a free masterclass to unpack this MTP for you. So on the 12th of March, we're going to show you how to formulate an MTP for your business. And then we're going to show you what the next logical step is for you as well. Now that I have this purpose, what's next? And we'll introduce something called an EXO sprint to you as well. I know Craig have shared that link also already to registering for that masterclass in the chat, and we're going to share all of these links again. So creating a compelling MTP for your life and your business enhances both short-term and long-term focus, and it allows you to feel more centered and more productive. We're nearly done here. The second part of the identifying in order to achieve success is that we need to know what our whys are. And what I recommend here is, while you are in the process of defining your MTPs, go and list many whys and come up with at least 20 reasons you must make your MTP a reality. Select reasons that have both an emotional component and connect them with your deepest values and your aspirations. This will be one of the very first activities I would do after this masterclass, and also register for that event with Craig and myself. Now, planning for success is part of the identifying shift. If you really want success in your business, it's important that you plan for success. And as I've indicated before, we use the SMART goal system to do so. And this is also where your vision and your mission comes into play. We then also break down our goals. I will schedule a session to talk to us about how we plan from moving from an MTP right through to defining minimal viable goals. So the minimal viable goals is a different approach to only having a 60-day focus so that we can adjust our direction and course correct sooner rather than later. I can share more, and all of this is in the activity guide that I've also shared with you. So to achieve this major shift, we need to develop ruthless focus. And this is what you have been waiting for. To help us accomplish more in less time while we feel less overwhelmed. So there's a few steps that we go through to do that, of which the first one is we need to prioritize. We need to prioritize all those tasks that we've defined as a result of coming out from our planning process, and also all the other tasks that people throws in our direction. We need to decide which of these tasks that needs my attention and which not. Those that don't help me towards achieving my goals, I don't do. When I have identified the goals that I would like to move forward on, I then go on to the next step, which is approaching a task the correct way. And there are different steps that we take to approach a task in the correct way. Assess the validity of that task. Then we go on to the first step I missed there is to prioritize the task. Only the tasks that I'm focusing, I prioritize it in an order. I assess each of these tasks in terms of complexity, by when it needs to be done, urgency and importance associated with that. I then clarify for each of those tasks what needs to be done. Step 5 then is, there's step 4, then step 5 is finding out the most effective way to tackle that task. Step 6 is batch similar tasks. There's nothing wrong with batching similar tasks. So if you need to do filing for many different things, the task is called filing, and then you set time aside for that. Then step 7 is very, very valuable, and that is find ways to automate and systemize the different tasks that you need to do. It's wise to automate repetitive tasks, like we are trying to automate a lot of what we do, repetitive tasks, i.e. running weekly masterclasses. We've automated that process now, and we will be sharing that with everybody during the course of next week. And again, we go into all of this in a lot of detail in my course. So just to wrap this up then, the next few steps is that you must learn to make the right domino fall. We all have dozens of goals. We all have many different projects. We need to look at what is it that helps us move forward. And we need to learn to say no to things that doesn't help us move forward, and then only focus on that which helps us to move forward to achieving our goals. And then there's, of course, this thing called the power of less. People often try too many things at once. As a result, they seldom achieve their most important goals. So I'm busy doing something here now, an email comes up, I lose focus. A call comes in, I lose focus, and I focus on that next. Learn to say no to people who want to interfere with your focus. I block times out in my calendar where I say not available. I think that does send the message, hey, Craig, when it's not available, I'm not available. So try and take control.
Sorry, you're running a little bit behind time, hey? Just so you know.
No, it's fine. We've got the extra time because we're not doing that long summary. So that's cool. Thanks for letting me know. So focus on doing less rather than more, and schedule everything. This sounds time consuming. I schedule everything. I even schedule time in my diary to do our grocery planning, our meal plan for the week. All of that helps me plan more effectively and contribute to my effectiveness and efficiency. A very good tool to use is the Eisenhower matrix. It's also called the urgent important matrix. Go and download a copy. This copy will be made available to you, and then go through these steps and put your tasks into these different blocks where they fit. And then quickly tell me, where do you think we should focus? On the do it, schedule it, delete it, or delegate it quadrant to help you achieve excellent focus. Anybody who would like to jump in, you can post in the chat if you want. Craig, anybody sharing anything there?
Not yet, but I said schedule it. Mike says you need to do all 4.
Oh dear, Mike, I need to spend more time with you.
Carissa says do it. Rian says schedule it. Rian agrees with me, schedule it. Vedette says delegate.
Okay. We delegate the task that doesn't need my attention. We schedule it when it's not important. I would like to, and obviously that which is not urgent and important, you just delete it. You need to focus on the do it, which those are the tasks that's urgent and important. And there are reasons for that, but we don't have the time to focus on that now. So the step 6 is focus on one big project at a time. I've referred to this a couple of times earlier. Don't take on many different projects because it's nice and you're busy. Focus and select the projects that will help you forward to achieve your NTP. And then lastly, increasing your energy. We need to learn to manage our energy by getting the basics right, i.e. a good meal plan. Sorry, I just did something very weird here, Craig. Just give me a moment, everybody. I don't know what I just successfully did here to confuse myself. Let me just come back. Okay, I'm back in control. Exercise, follow a good diet plan. Also, manage your energy by listening to your body on when you have the most energy during the day versus when you have the least. And do those important tasks when you have the most energy and take a break. We need to take at least a 45-minute break during the day. And Brendan Burchard, one of the best-selling authors on high performance, insists that you should take a 45 to 60-minute break. Okay, so I went through all of that here. Now, if you follow those 7 steps, you will start to achieve ruthless focus. But we also need to finish this major shift with a triumph. It's very important that we celebrate our successes. It serves many great purposes, and those purposes include that it helps us to learn and adapt. I celebrate my successes, but I also celebrate when I learn from failing, because that in its own is a success, and then I adapt. We also develop a success mindset if we start celebrating. It obviously keeps our motivation going. We feel good, and there's happy chemicals which we all know of, which is dopamine. I call them happy chemicals. When we feel good and we celebrate, we create more of these happy chemicals, which then has a reverse effect on our motivation. Okay, so with all of that said, 5 steps shift. If you want to achieve significant change in your ability to ruthlessly focus, apply the shift. Stop and take stock. See where you are, and then from there, implement the rest of the shift to help you move forward.